Everybody. One of the things that comes up a lot in my life now, post brain injury, and comes up a lot now in my life speaking with other people post brain injury, would be one of the things that dominated our lives before the fact. For those of us that were hurt as adults, for those of you that were hurt as children, it's a little bit different. But for those of us that were hurt as adults, it would be sex and intimacy. It's a dominating force of everybody's life. Some in very big ways, some positive, some destructive, some in small ways, some virtually not at all. But for most of us, we have a pretty even-keeled sense of it. A brain injury doesn't just mess it all up. Some parts of it completely wipes clean. There's parts of it that get wiped clean. There's parts of it that blow up. There's parts of it that just kind of jump up and down. When you first get back, honestly, sex, let alone intimacy. Sorry about all the twitching tonight, but still have Tourette's. But sex, let alone intimacy, when you first get back, is physically virtually impossible. You don't care. You're sleeping like a lion 22 hours a day. The fact that you get up to go to the bathroom at all is amazing, and literally the only reason I got sunlight was because I was still a smoker. That was it. So sex is so far away at that point. And then you physically start to bounce back. You mentally-ish. It's this feigned thing. You think you're there, but you start to kind of bounce back there, and so things like sex and love and intimacy start to bounce back in. Well, the thing that bounced back first is sex. It's physical. Physical heals way quicker than the emotional and the mental. We know this. We know this because of the whole people treating us like we're normal just because we look normal on the outside, blah, blah, blah. It's the same concept. Physically, which means physically parts up here and mostly physically here, we heal like that. And just like how your new brain, the moment you wake up, it's new. It's like being born again. It literally is like being born again. This is not a spiritual sense. You have a newly constructed brain that now works differently, that you have to really relearn. Except, especially when, and this is the case of an adult, when you get it, you've already learned the ropes. And depending on how bad your injury is, the majority of us come back to a place where we know the ropes. So when we progress, it can be a little bit quicker. Meaning, I was sexual within the first, 2 weeks after getting home from the hospital. 3 weeks. But I'm also a very sexual person. Which leads to the other part of this. Okay, so sex is going to happen first. It's just going to happen first. Do not, if you're the person on the other side of it, do not be overwhelmed when A, there sometimes is not an emotional connection, or B, it's even worse. There can be an overwhelming emotional connection, and then the next time, nothing. That's even if there's a next time. It's really an up and down roller coaster. And for the people on the other side, we're sorry. But we have been turned inside out. Our sexuality has been turned inside out, which leads to this other part, which is a brain injury forces you to really look at yourself. And you have no choice. All your gates have now been taken away. All the barriers that were put up, that were taught to you, have been taken away. You have to reteach them to yourself now. You don't have anybody to hold your hand. This includes sex. This includes love. This includes intimacy. This includes connection. Part of that is what's happened now is part of you has either been wiped away, blurred, or amplified. When I first got back, it was completely gone. Then it was super amplified sexually. Then it was just kind of this blurry up and down thing. Finally, sorry, my cat's trying to get food. Finally, what it came to be, or where it currently sits right now, is kind of where I've been my whole life, more or less, which is overtly passionate. I am deeply, deeply in want and need and desire of deep emotional and physical connection. I'm both very sexual and both very emotional. It's a heavy mix, but I was that way before, and now it is under a microscope. That's my reality. For some, it's just gone. For some, it's completely different. I had to accept parts of my sexuality that I was kind of pushing down for a sec. I'm very, very masculine in many ways. I'm also very feminine in many ways, and I am completely comfortable with that now. Because you kind of have to be. This opens your brain up. You have no choice but to deal with everything head on now. And so, if you want to be happy, and you want the people you love and with you to be happy, then all of you will be completely honest and without shame, because without those things, it's going to be a rough road. You know, if you sit there and you shame yourself and you don't open up, it's going to be rough. But if you give in to being open or being honest, then maybe, it's not a promise, but maybe things can work and sometimes even be better. We'll see where my road takes me. But I'm supposed to say, any questions, leave comments, likes, please subscribe, and go to the Facebook page, TBI&i, and also TBI&i.com. God, there's all these things I'm supposed to remember. It's ridiculous. I can barely remember to feed myself, and I'm supposed to remember all these internet connection things. It is redonkulous. Anyways, if there's any questions based on this, please send them my way, and I will do my best to start to focus and address these things. Anyways, peace out. Bye.